I understand how things work.
Okay, I'll start over. Hello and welcome to the 5th episode, this would be, of Throwback Theater. I am Eric Lutz.
I'm Lee.
Lucas here again.
Chris.
Today's movie is Digimon the Movie.
Oh boy.
All of us watched it. I want to remind you guys that all of us independently watched this movie.
I do have to say that I own this movie back in Brazil. And DVD.
Well, I was going to ask on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yes,
That
DVD.
sucks.
I own it. I got it when I was a kid.
Oh, so you didn't just recently buy it?
No.
You,
I own it from...
But you were a fan.
I am a fan of Digimon.
He didn't even say I was a fan. He says
I own the first season in DVD in this house.
Lee, are you a fan of Digimon?
Well, I chose this one. This was my pick. And
so you're a fan.
Well, the thing was, I saw this growing up, and, you know, it was in the Pokemon
Did they
craze.
have, like, cards, though?
Yeah, well, they had TV shows and cards and everything. And
Okay,
actually...
so these are all, like, Pokemon, like...
Yeah.
Like, I remember Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, that was another one.
Digimon was just like a...
Yeah, another
kind of a
thing.
grab
Pokemon
and-
was
okay.
the first
All right.
one. But, so this is a Pokemon kind of copycat. And I thought it would hold up without watching the show or playing the game.
It doesn't.
It's also supposed to be 3 different movies, Japanese movies that the Americans just push into one movie to.
That's obvious. Like
Yes.
this
There's
wasn't so
about
much
50 minutes missing of footage.
It was kind of like I just watched 3 episodes of Digimon back to back with no commercials, and somehow they put them all
Because-
together.
yeah.
It wasn't a movie.
No, the character of Willis is invented for the American
Right.
audience.
Okay.
I read that on IMDb.
Who is
Interesting.
Willis? Is he the kid from... There's a kid from Colorado?
Yes, he's the American kid from Colorado.
Well, that
Okay,
was so
but is it-
obvious all
okay.
the time. Like, I mean, the intro. Let's just start off at the beginning, because that, like...
The beginning and the
Threw me
rules
for a
of this
loop.
universe, because even I thought I knew the rules of the universe.
Okay.
And this movie just doesn't really say any of them.
Before we...
Mhm.
Can
I
we
think they changed
pause?
some of the back history of it too.
Unless we do the beginning, but, like, I need someone to talk about
The soundtrack.
how this... No, how...
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Yes. We absolutely
What a
do.
classic soundtrack though.
I need someone to explain me the rules of this universe who knows...
All right, I was asking myself a
no
lot of
clue.
questions. I was trying to figure it out. So, Digimon are beings that were, like, born in the internet, right?
There's 2 different worlds. They're not
fuck, well, I don't
entirely
know then.
linked into the internet. Like the
'Cause I thought
they
that
are
was
made.
kind of a
They
cool
are
concept.
data. They
They're
are
from
data.
a digital
World.
realm?
Yes.
Like a different dimension.
Oh, I
of
thought that was
digital-
just the internet.
No,
I don't
Oh,
it's
understand.
not
I don't
necessarily the
understand
internet.
anything,
Because they go
guys.
to the internet for like the first time in the movie.
in the
I
movie,
believe.
that's the first time that they send Digimons through the internet.
Wait, who?
But
Yeah,
because
good
they
question.
are
Who was-
data, so they can travel on this
So,
universe.
Okay,
so they're,
alright,
they're
alright.
digital, and there's the physical world, and there are things called digidestins, which aren't really well explained. They're people who are like the only people that can see or interact with these beings.
Wait,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
the
but
whole,
pause,
like, what,
stop,
people were
right there. The movie opens, right? Okay, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
The movie opens
I was lost.
with 2 children
Mhm.
who... I don't understand how this works. They get an egg through a digital
Yes,
printer.
yeah,
A 3D printer prints
No,
them
it's a
an
computer
egg.
No, it just comes
well,
from it.
I thought
An
that-
egg comes from
That's
a
very opposite.
computer. But I don't understand how that works. So an egg, a living thing, comes out of a computer printer.
You're right.
Yes.
I thought
Okay.
the first act was the strongest act. So this is,
Okay. I was very confused from the get-go because I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah,
so,
well, I mean, obviously, I feel like the people
It's a
that made
boy-
this
it's a
movie
brother and
assume
sister.
you already know Digimon, so it's like they
Yes.
kind of
Okay.
just threw it.
and I got
through
that,
your
and like
parents.
I felt like they were maybe trying to quickly explain
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
So they get this egg, and it grows up with them, and it. I wrote down 6 minutes into the movie. I don't know what is happening, but a monster just shit on the floor because there are not 1, but 2 poop jokes in this
Yes,
movie
yes.
within 5 minutes of each other, and it's the same creature pooping on the rug, and it makes a sound, and then they lift it up, and there's a brown turd on the carpet. That happens twice,
That's a common joke also in the show.
Oh, is it?
With poop, yeah.
and that threw me off a little bit. So anyway,
So
they give
wait,
this monster a
you
hatchet.
didn't like the poop jokes?
Honestly, the poop jokes are probably the best part of this movie. That because
No,
I
the
can
mom
correlate
is.
with a poop
The
joke.
mom
I
cooking.
love the mom.
The mom cooking joke.
The mom.
mother.
Well, the first thing
Kai's
she
mom.
says is she's like, I made beef jerky beef jerky shake, and I'm like, what the fuck? But it was like a reoccurring thing.
Like, this is
she
just
had
a-
like
Spinach cookies.
spinach cookies, and
potato smoothies.
This has to be a poorly
Yeah,
translated
potato juice.
movie, right?
Yes.
Like, it's all just like
Yeah,
American audience.
The translation is pretty atrocious,
Yeah.
and even some of the voice acting was also kind of.
Which,
Yeah.
for me, because one of the parts I laughed at the most, which I felt was out of place, and I was like, oh, this wasn't here in a Japanese movie, was... Okay, so the kids have this monster that's an egg, and it hatches into a thing, and it keeps evolving?
Yeah.
Digivolving.
Or Digi...
Yeah,
which I don't know
how
what that
dare you
means.
call
We'll
it
get
evolving?
there.
Digivolving.
But it
Fucking
becomes
hate it.
bigger and badder, and then another thing comes out of the sky and has to fight that thing, and it lands in the street. So it's in the real world.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it lands in the street, and then a truck swerves past it
Yeah.
and goes, "Oh, hey, did you see that?" It's like, "No, I was sleeping." It's like, "But you're driving." That was the only chuckle I got from the movie, and it was the best laugh.
But there were a
of the
lot
whole
of this
thing.
movie has so many quibs like that.
So many.
Like almost too
It
many.
does.
and I did laugh in a lot.
All right,
of them.
so-
Yeah, no, there's,
Okay.
there's a one. I wrote it down. It's when all like the internet and the phone is out, and it's like it's an announcement on TV, and they said if your phone is dead, please call your phone company. Like it's very little.
And I laughed at that too
Yeah.
a little bit. But then there's like a voice answering thing where they all let's just take a breath.
First act is this movie is
Yeah,
Because,
everything.
okay,
I generally am
Totally
desperate
I will
for someone
also-
to explain
I
to
will
me
also give
how
you-
this world works. I
the
need to. I don't understand.
Because,
it.
okay,
Because people were watching on their computers, like
Right,
those people
everyone
see the
sees these
Digimon?
things.
well,
but
yeah,
then they
because,
exist
because
only
those
in the
ones are in
internet.
the internet because they are being broadcast live. Because in the original series, whenever that attack happened between the two monsters, not just the kids saw them. Everyone else is explained in the show that they think was a terrorist attack.
Okay, but I'm going from this
Okay.
at a.
Yes,
I only
I
want the
understand.
movie. I want the world.
Yes.
But I'm a parent taking my kids to see this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't
And I
really set it up.
regret
No.
doing
No,
that.
because it's supposed to be like I think it is like this movie is not made for people who have not seen or know the show.
Yeah, not at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, obviously.
It's
yeah,
not
that's-
made for them.
And that's why it was hard to almost even like critique this movie because, like I said, it almost like it was barely a movie.
Yes, because like even those movies, the Japanese versions are short,
But-
like 30-minute long.
It
Mhm.
feels very
shorts.
disconjointed.
With that being said, though, I didn't mind it. The first
did.
act.
The action sequences.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Well, the first act I was so lost. The second, I kind of was on board for that. And then the third I like wasn't so much on board for that.
Okay, I don't understand. They skip around time a lot, and they concentrate on his little sister, and then she's just gone. And then the bad guy's a virus from the internet who is going to destroy the internet.
No, if you the reason behind it is that you know how in the first act, the first segment, the eggs come through the computers.
Mm-hmm.
So Willis decides to
Who's Willis?
the
American.
American kid from Colorado. That's in the
Okay,
third
because
movie.
there's like 12 children in this movie. I don't know any of their
Yeah,
names,
like
and they all changed periodically.
Willis
throughout
is like
movie.
the American kid that appears
He's
like
a blonde kid.
yes,
Yeah,
he appears on
okay.
the second one just in pictures, and then he's in the third segment. He decides to, since he got one egg with two creatures on it, he decides to create
But this
more.
just happened randomly?
They're
Like,
Digidestins. They're just.
They
they're
were
granted.
supposed to get those Digimon.
They're the chosen ones.
Yes.
They're the ones who
To
melded
do
to.
what?
This is fantastic.
I don't know.
They
They,
That's how
they
balance
inherit.
the
Okay,
worlds.
so they inherit these creatures
Yes.
because they're chosen to
Yeah.
wield them as weapons
into
Yes,
the
yes.
to
digital
do
world.
To
what?
protect both realms.
Yes.
Okay,
Again, none of this is explained in
Yeah.
the movie.
but how is like how
I
does
kinda
something
got that,
come
though.
from
yes,
one to another? Like,
because they do mention
Well,
them as Digidestin.
in the
meaning
show-
they are
I
supposed to
wrote
be
that
chosen.
down, man.
In the
Yes.
show, they have Digivices, which are really not present.
They appear.
mention
Yeah,
them.
they
is
show.
that the thing they wear in their hip?
Yeah,
their
yes.
hips?
Yes.
Because that's how
Yes.
they connect with them.
Yes. And then that's how
Okay.
they can digivolve. They're linked
Right.
to it.
And
That's
do-
how they come to
Here's
this
a
world.
question about digivolving. Do they? I mean, it seemed like they could kind of digivolve into like a lot of different.
I didn't understand.
Did you-
Yes,
that.
it's not like Pokemon where
No,
once
they
go
have
up,
they
it's
have
a
like
line.
they have like
They-
in the
they
like
can-
beginner champion.
Right, but then
Mega
I meant
champion.
the third act was really like Digimon are just digivolving into so many different. There's one
Angels
Digimon
show up
into
and
like three
defeat
different
the monster.
Digimon.
Because those
Yeah.
They become angels, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yes, they are angels and devils in the actual there's Devilmon as one of them, but it's not in this movie.
Okay, so why? Okay,
So he decides to try to replicate the egg that he got, the original one. So when he creates in the computer this egg, the egg is...
you already lost me. He's trying to recreate an egg that he received as a child?
Yeah, he's a child.
He was given one, but he's like really smart, so
He thinks that he can make
program one.
another one.
Oh wait, I didn't get any.
But
of
I
this.
don't understand those rules. Like, what do you mean by program one? How do you?
Because
make
they
a
are
real...
data. They are.
But
that's
they
why
become
This is-
physical.
They become
Throwback,
physical.
right?
They-
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But yes, that's what explains the monster that's in the internet.
Mhm. I got that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
created by Willis by accident.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
he gets he creates the egg, and then the egg is just
I
a
got it.
Trojan
Okay.
horse takes it,
Right. Yep.
and then it gives it life to it.
And he said, "Go back to the beginning."
Well, who's the
And-
bad
yep,
guy?
I gotcha.
The bad guy is the
Virus
The
thing.
virus.
But that just existed in its own life.
It was a regular
one
computer
created it?
virus that accidentally got hold of a
Yeah.
sentient
yes,
Digimon.
and then they just merged.
Yeah.
It was a symbiosis thing.
Okay.
It's like
just gotta
it's
take
like
it.
Venom.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
okay.
And then it decides to find Willis because Willis created it, and then because the good guy inside the virus is trying to fight off. So there's this good and evil, and he's trying to find the maker, his maker, and that's why he's trying to find Willis and kill Willis.
Okay, so
Question?
it's like Robot Superman. I got it. I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just very
The
convoluted.
storyline for Robot Superman is the guy that gets into the thing and they put his body in and he morphs with his DNA and then becomes half robot, half Superman. I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So,
That's sort of what
so then the story for the movie. Thank you for that, Lee. The story of the movie is basically following this virus thing. That's what connects
Yes.
all three acts.
Yes, because in the first one is them receiving the eggs, which becomes
But so these two monsters become real and they fight and then they just disappear and I didn't understand. All these people saw it's like a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex and a giant parrot
Yeah.
Right.
fight in the middle of Tokyo.
yes.
It's very Godzilla-esque.
But then
for
yeah,
sure.
but then they just disappear and I don't understand. And then it's all digital and they have to log on to the internet to
I don't really understand that either. I
Yeah,
don't
I
understand
don't.
how.
to have
yeah,
their
I don't know.
Digimon fight.
That
They
really
also
is
go
and they had to fight
yeah,
a
into
virus.
the digital world in the show.
because in the show everything takes place mostly in the digital world, and then they cross back
Don't-
once.
Don't think of it as a digital world. Think of it as an alternate universe.
Yes, they cross
Okay,
Yes.
I'm with you.
So somehow they cross into
I
our
guess.
universe.
Yes.
In a sense. But
they do change the rules of I think even the show and this movie.
Oh really?
At least the way that he's put it together
Hold
in
on.
here.
I feel like I need to say this is the most serious analysis of this movie that has definitely ever been done. We haven't even been making jokes.
No.
Like, this is we just jumped into it.
I mean, kids
We're
become
not kidding
digital
around.
at the end of this movie. They connect with they become part of and they.
Oh
into,
my
the
God, they
computer.
do.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yes, they do get into the computer.
He pushes and he's like,
Into,
"I
like,
love
what-
you so much," and
Yeah,
then
yeah, when he
he
was dying.
comes,
Mhm.
and he's like, he's falling through the Ethernet of
Yeah.
the internet, and I didn't understand.
There also there
Sounds
are
like you
nuclear-
understood.
There are nuclear weapons involved.
They are because he's trying to nuke Colorado.
Who is?
The virus?
Remember there were
The virus gets into
there were
But
Norad.
then the
nuclear
virus
bombs.
is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
other twin Digimon that the kid raised when he got eggs. And
Yes.
Yeah.
One of them
God,
becomes
I-
evil. He becomes evil.
How do they travel in time? There's time travel.
No, there's no time.
No, there is no time travel.
Oh, I thought there was
Because
time
he
travel.
keeps on
No,
go
no,
I
back,
think
and then
there
I
is.
thought
Yeah.
No, in the end,
Like
that sequence is almost just
Oh,
Because this movie jumps
melding
years,
thing.
it jumps ahead
Oh, yeah.
8 years.
Yeah,
right?
But it's not time travel. They're just like 8 years from now, and then they just jump ahead.
But then it goes back, and then
No, just in the
That's
very
because the
very
TV
last
show
sequence, they do
was
a
already out.
yes,
And the other group of kids from the end of the movie were from the second season.
yes.
So season 1, those
there are
characters
so
were
many kids in this movie.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, my friend here, and then they go to America, and they have America.
They
There
do
were
so much
12 or
explaining in
15
this movie
kids,
for people
and they
who
were
have never
all
seen the show. They try
interchangeable.
really hard to give
But
you
even
backstories.
even
They
if you
failed.
watch it,
But they
No,
went
they
over
did
it
a
very
bad
quickly.
job.
because they do very quickly. And
The
there's
whole
a
thing
lot.
with Willis, they're like, and then we met Willis, and he's from Colorado, and he's a really cool kid. He's like a Digidestin. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, they just
Oh, these
spitball.
Disney and Diginestes, they do this because they were chosen by the digital world.
And then, all of a
and
sudden,
sometimes
he's
we
the
fight
main
monsters,
character,
and I was
yeah.
like, what? what the fuck is happening?
Oh, especially like because there's the part where Tai in the second act he's trying to get all the other
Who's Tai?
Digidestins.
Is he
the
the main
main
goggles?
with the
Okay,
goggles?
alright.
Yeah, he's like the main
kid.
kid from the show, and he's trying to like recruit the team, and they're all like spread out.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was so quick and
Like,
so
oh,
choppy.
hey, you have Digimon. Like, we're like all our Digimon
That's
kids.
a
Like,
good
we're
voice.
together.
It sounds like
And hey, like, why don't we team
It
up?
sounds
Because like, why are
exactly
you
like
alone? Because all our Digimon kids were on one team. And like, why aren't you on the team? And I was like, I don't know what any of this means.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
So,
why don't you
I don't-
come with us? We're gonna test the evil virus.
the soundtrack.
Yeah, let's get to that.
The
'cause
most
it's fucking amazing.
90s
It starts off
soundtrack.
like my second note is holy shit. There's Fatboy Slim in this.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's
Right about now.
Yeah, the Fatboy
Funky
Slim.
old brother. Damn it. I wrote funky old brother in my notes. But yeah,
that what
this-
it is?
There's also
yeah.
the bare neck ladies with
Bare Neck Ladies.
1 week.
Goldfinger, Less Than Jake was in this. Yeah.
Smash
oh,
Mouth?
Smash Mouth.
That's how they end the movie.
It's just missing Sugar
the
Ray.
song
and-
narrative at least
it
gave
is
me,
missing Sugar Ray.
it gave me cues. It was like, oh, I hope I know what's going on by the song they're playing. This is a good thing. I mean,
Yeah,
funk, yo,
Great.
funk, yo, brother.
Because they also start with the
You can buy that
Digi
soundtrack.
Rap. Oh, you can. It's
Yeah.
a great album.
The Digirap.
The Digi Rap.
Oh,
But
the
again,
Digimon.
that was just them pandering to like an American audience. Right?
Right.
They
True.
just changed everything.
Yeah,
So this movie doesn't,
this is the American edit. or the
which
English
is
edit.
Yeah.
bad. It's
I have a
really-
question for you guys.
How much money did this movie make? Does anyone know?
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you guys that. How much
Yeah.
do you think this was made for, and how much do you think it made? Oh, you
I
looked it
feel
up
like it
too.
was shit.
And it made about 10, right?
Yeah, it made
13.
just about 10.
Oh. Okay.
$10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Well,
It was,
Well, I guess
Well-
what did it cost to make? It
Well,
must-
5. So it doubled.
it's a pro-
yeah.
But
Okay,
the thing
so
is,
that's
it was
profitable.
following in Pokemon's footsteps, and Pokemon the first movie made almost 200 million.
Wow.
So
Really?
like, yeah,
Like
Shit.
domestically?
yeah.
Holy fuck.
So
I
like,
didn't even see
But the
that.
difference is that Pokemon was made for the movie. That Pokemon movie was written and directed and made to be that movie.
which we will get
This
to
was
in
not.
podcast.
This was not
like
made to
they
be a
took
movie.
parts from the TV show
Yeah.
and just strung them together, right?
Yeah, no,
Well, the-
these are they are short stories that they would show in like events and things to just Digimon.
But this, but was this ever on TV?
Just
like
the
independent, like
the
all the
scene-
sections.
The scene, the first segment
Mhm.
is parts of
Okay.
those scenes because like it gives because that's the first time that any of those 8 kids will see the Digimon for the
okay.
first time,
Okay.
and that's how they become like linked to.
Yeah,
go
I
to the
didn't get
Digimon.
any
I
of that.
didn't
No,
understand
because it's
that.
not explaining it.
Mhm. I mean,
I know that because I've seen the show.
You know, but I watched the whole first season of the show. Like when I was a kid,
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
did I.
born.
Yeah.
And maybe that helped me to distinguish some of the characters. I recognize them, but I still like. It wasn't too long ago when like the third Pokemon movie was on TV, and I sat down and watched the end of it.
There are
Um,
3 Pokemon movies?
Oh, there were
It was-
like
yeah,
12.
it was more than that.
They
Seriously?
keep making
See, I
just the
haven't-
three. Just the
this is
3
not
got
something.
theatrical releases.
Yeah, just 3 did.
But the end
Wait,
of that was
3
like,
Pokemon movies went to theaters?
They all made
Yes,
money.
They made money.
Yeah.
They
dude,
It's a
Pokemon
brand.
still.
Chris,
Pokemon Go
yes.
is happening right
No,
now.
it is. I
It's-
did not know
it
there were
was
3
a
Pokemon
massive-
movies in the
Yeah.
movie theater.
It was a massive-
They
not
could
going
probably
away.
make another one next summer and make a lot of money.
Make one right fucking.
they
Yeah.
are talking about making a live
No,
action.
I was just saying,
Wow.
I read that they were going to do that.
Yeah.
But again, this is just like a Pokemon ripoff, right? Kind
I
of.
mean, it-
All right,
no,
so it's like
No, because like, this
It's its
was a
own
manga
thing.
before I think even like it was by the same time there was like Pokemon started. Like this was already a thing
Well,
in manga form.
I looked it up. Actually, Pokemon predates it by 16 months. Yeah.
So, fuck you, Digimon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Close.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was also like a weird Monster Ranch show. I don't know if you guys remember Monster
Yes,
Ranch.
Monster
Rancher,
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
that was a
Card captors.
yeah, like there was a few knockoffs. But when I watched this third movie, the end of it, which I didn't know the Pokemon, like it was legitimately sad. Like as far as the Pokemon was like dying, and there was a lot of things going on. Here, the Digimon was dying, and Tai
Were
died
they?
into
I
the
don't.
computer.
Were they dying?
Well, I guess can they actually die?
I know,
They're digital?
They're
Yeah,
digital.
you just-
It's
I don't
a story.
understand.
They say that they don't die.
But still,
In the
but I
movie,
mean,
which I
it's-
think in the show they do die.
Oh,
It looked
okay.
like
In the show they
the
do.
Okay.
dinosaur
Oh wait.
was dying.
Also, pause for a second, because the kids get a Digimon when they're kids, but when they're older, it's a different fucking monster they have with them. What
Yes.
happened to the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to
the
know
thing.
what
Is it?
happened to them?
No, wait, what?
No, they're all different.
The kids, because
All the
they
monsters
all
are
get
different.
they all get new Digimon.
They all have little baby
which is a thing in the
whatever.
show, man.
I don't.
It's a
Are
thing
they
in the
babies
show.
because
That's a
they
new group.
digivolve?
Yeah.
No, yeah, because those are
No,
three
they're the
different-
same fucking kids.
It's still Ty
In the second-
and
the second
Kyrie
segment?
and-
in the whole fucking movie.
No. In the third,
In the third one is different people.
yes. Well, no. The Ty,
No.
there's some.
They
Okay.
appear like Ty and the other ones
That
appear
kid-
on it, but they're not part of
There's
that
the blue
whole
one.
action.
Flame
No,
Dragon.
Ty in the beginning of this movie has goggles, right? He gets a Tyrannosaurus. They
Yeah, the
raised
guy
that
in the
thing.
end also has the goggles.
And
Is
it's
not
not
Ty.
What?
What?
No, that's
No.
not. That's the
Oh.
second season guy.
Yes.
What the
What the
fuck are you
fuck?
talking
They
They
about?
even say it looks like he looks
Yes.
like my brother, but he's not my brother.
Yes.
They specifically
Oh,
say.
What
And-
the
fuck?
she says that line, and she even
Oh
says they
my
have the same
God.
glasses.
Yeah.
Because Ty in
What
the show
the
gives
fuck?
him the glasses.
What?
What?
What? Then why?
He
do
looks
I-
identical.
Yeah.
But then why
They're
am I
different.
watching these fucking kids? It don't matter
'Cause
later
that's the
on.
second season.
No, they do matter.
I-
That's the
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
Like, but, fuck, man.
Okay, no, that
God,
totally fucked my whole
Yeah.
fucking.
Yes.
Okay, the kid who has a baby sister who gets an egg in the first part of this movie is not the same kid for the rest of the movie who was a crush on a girl.
Is the
rides her
baby
home.
sister the same?
Yes.
She,
The
okay.
sister, yeah,
What?
she's gross. She
Yeah.
got
And the other kid. 'Cause
yeah,
there's-
and Ty and the TK.
the two younger ones.
Wait, okay, so
The
First
she,
two
batch.
ones taking the train in the last segment, or in the first,
They
and
grow
the
up.
second one too. They grow up, and then the other three kids.
What does that mean?
Or not.
okay, you're already naming too many kids. I don't even. Okay,
Well, so
okay.
season 1 and season 2 are mashed into this movie.
I don't
when,
know.
when this
Right.
came out, there's a time gap between the first and the second.
Which is about
season.
like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so nobody from this. There's only a few people from the second season in.
It's like the X Files.
Well, I don't.
No. The three main kids from the second season are in this movie.
Yeah.
There are the three kids in the end, and with the other two from the first season.
Yeah, they cross.
Yes, because
The
they
group-
grow up and then they don't go back to the digital world and they need more
Yeah.
Digidestined.
Okay,
and
but
there's three.
none of this
Is
is in this
explained.
This is like, no,
They,
it's
they,
not.
they,
It's
give,
like-
like Kari gives you in a
So
dialogue
this is
form
a
and
terrible
tells you-
movie.
Yes.
Yeah, to give you-
it's-
Like
It's hard to
fails.
explain.
They
It
could have
really
made
is.
this into
It
a real
fails.
movie, could they not have? Instead of be like, we're gonna mesh this
They-
shit together.
I think it's just because
Okay.
the creator of the show never wanted a movie.
It was a
They
cash grab. This movie was a cash grab.
Sure.
yeah, but they
Yeah.
just
But
like
I still
Fox,
need to get my
Fox
head
forced
around-
this. Fox kids forced this to exist.
So the two kids that we see in the very opening of this movie are not the same.
The girl
people.
The girl is.
The girl is in the whole movie.
But that dude
She's also
is
the one
not.
giving you
No.
the
The
narration.
older brother is not in the rest of the movie.
No,
No.
he is in the middle
He turns
section.
into a
in the
soccer
internet.
player.
He's the one that jumps into the computer. That's him, the first kid.
He's in
He's
the second
midpoint.
section.
Yes. And then in the third
Yeah,
act,
he's the guy who's with his grandmother, who's like, my grandmother has a
No, that's a
egg
different
timer. Oh my god, there's
That's
so
Matt?
many people. in this
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
You know
right.
what? I did notice something was weird when the kid I thought was Ty was saying, "Hey, only I can kiss Kyrie." And I was like,
Yes!
"Oh, like, that's definitely his sister."
Yes,
But
no.
what, it's Japan, man. I'm not gonna judge.
No, it's not the sister.
That's
Because
cool.
the younger kid with the grandma is in the third act. He's the kid with the girl in the train.
Okay, and the whole third act of this movie takes place in the
America.
United States. Yeah.
Yes. With
Colorado, United
Yeah.
States.
He's going to
I love when the
Well,
words
there's-
come up. Colorado, United States.
Well, they're in New York at one point too.
they start in New York. Yes.
So at this point, there's like a vision chasing him, and I feel there's no point in
Wait,
explaining
what's
this because I don't
chasing
understand. A
vision?
vision?
the
But no, he takes physical form.
He does take
Well, a
physical
digital apparition.
it is a
understand.
physical form.
So they all fight this virus initially to stop it from
but it doesn't
shutting
die
down the internet,
completely
and it comes back 8 years later,
Yeah.
and like
because it's reborn,
Oh,
as it is
yes.
reborn in the end again.
Yes.
Because no
The egg
Digimon
comes
die.
back.
And the first act has nothing to do with any of this.
No, the
No.
first act is just to link the eggs. Because the eggs...
Which they didn't do a good job, and because they're all different. I don't. Okay, so then
There's so
they do
many-
a thing.
The third act is just Digimon. They're all
It's a
digivolving.
fun-
It's-
Yeah, it
it's
is.
Okay, so that's what I want to
wild.
ask about those digivolving.
Mhm.
They're just like egg.
They have to
and
have
then
the
they
power.
have like I don't know what that means.
Because, okay, the
Right.
difference also, again, it's in the first season, they are those eggs that in the third act, they don't exist in the first season.
I don't
They
know what
are
that. I don't know what
yeah,
that
the
means.
armor eggs.
Yeah, the armor
Yeah.
eggs are
You
different.
keep saying seasons. This
Yeah,
isn't
we're
helping.
not just talking about Digimon the show.
This isn't helping me
no,
at all.
I'm trying to link because like, this movie the problem is that this movie is not supposed to be a movie. Because like, these are supposed to be like independent short stories. That the Fox Kids got all of this, wrote linking connections to all of them.
I knew that's what it was, but suddenly
that's
all
why
makes
it
sense.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because like they took these things that are not supposed to be connected, and then created Willis to connect all of them.
Okay.
And that's why it becomes a mess.
Okay.
But
I sat in my room drinking coffee and cursing at my laptop during the whole broadcast of this movie for myself.
But the animation and as a kid especially, seeing all this like robots mashing and
I couldn't really
You're-
I
No,
think it was
I
flashy.
disagree.
It was definitely flashy, but like I didn't.
It wasn't
exactly
good. I
know
mean, there's
what was going
animation
on.
that existed before Digimon that is much
Yeah.
better looking. than
Cadillacs
Digimon.
and dinosaurs. But like no, I don't know. The animation is cool.
No,
Flames are
I
bright.
disagree.
I don't have a problem with it one way or the other, to be honest. Like,
I just don't care. It's
You
not
also don't like
interesting,
anime,
it's not fetching.
and that's the style of it. that
But
you don't
it's
like
not-
it.
I will say this:
eye-catching.
like the whole here's how I
It's
can
not
break it
Dragon
down.
Ball Z. It's not
The whole
there's-
first
I
act of
didn't
the
understand what I
movie-
was looking at half the time.
I think the whole first half of the movie was very confused, or not first half, but like the first little segment. I was very confused on. The second half, I actually was kind of, like I said, I was kind of into it. I could get
It's
into
the
it.
part that I always remember.
And then
So,
the third, I like just kind of like lost me, and I didn't know how things connected. So as far as like this goes as a movie,
no, they should have just wrote a
it's not
story
a
that
movie,
should have
yeah.
just been the middle thing and just made it that into a whole movie.
I like
What
the
I
kid
did
from
say-
Colorado.
it was Willis.
He made me sad. Is that his name?
Willis.
Willis. I hate that name, but I liked him.
It was so action packed. I even wrote down in my notes that I was like, oh man, this is like Mad Max. Like Mad Max is like it's like go right. Like there's no real subplot. It's just like
No, it's just
Pedal
like
to the
dinosaurs with a fucking grenade launcher for a
Yeah,
hand. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, all right.
yeah, I can get behind
They
that.
do get really ridiculous by the end with those
when they're like merging.
yeah.
But that's okay. Why aren't they just constantly at their best stage of?
That's a good point.
Did you,
Yeah.
that,
Takes-
that I didn't
Anyway.
understand.
Because I think
Because two of
It
them,
takes
one of them's
long.
like a puff, and she shows up like a fucking angel with a bow and arrow.
And
And
then
I
she
was
turns
like,
into a cat.
the never-ending story, like
Yeah,
flying dog.
But he turns
thing.
into like a knight armor man.
a seraphim because that is his name, Seraphim.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
jeez. How do you remember their names?
Because I've seen this
why aren't they
movie
just
and I've seen the
constantly-
show.
Oh look at the Manamanaman.
I've
Like,
seen
Capamon.
man.
I can tell you every
Capamon.
single of the characters' names and their Digimons.
Who was the first egg? Was it Capamon?
We need to end
like
this.
the first egg?
We need to end this now.
No, Agumon. Oh, Koromon.
Koromon.
Like the little-
So
Wait,
all
you
right,
mean
so I
Pikachu?
just Eric, I would love for you to, in 30 seconds, give us an
Yes.
overview
sure.
of just this entire story. In 30 seconds, go.
Okay. In this world, there's two different universes. There's the cyber universe, and then there's our universe. And then Digimon come from that one. But somehow, in some way, there are Digidestins that are supposed to guard the realm of both universes. How am I doing on time? Because I got a lot of moves to go.
TikTok, go.
And these kids have Digimon, and then there's this virus that blends with the Digimon, and it causes mayhem, and all the phone lines are going down. and
Nuclear
electric companies
bombs.
going down. Nuclear bombs. And there's Willis from Colorado, and he has twin Digimon, but the one was infected by the same virus. And all the Digimon have to fight, and then they eventually...
Through love.
Through love,
Friendship.
and friendship, they get rid of the virus, and he comes back in the form of an egg to relive again because Digimon don't die.
Years later.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Boom!
That's
Boom!
super impressive.
You thought I couldn't do it? You thought I couldn't handle
Listen,
it?
if that doesn't make sense to you, then you just don't understand Digimon the movie.
I took great notes! Not like the Lizzie McGuire movie.
We're
I
improving.
apologize for the Lizzie McGuire movie. Side note, last two podcasts, I was not on my best.
I don't think all of us were.
I was.
Guys,
we might have lost about
I
half
feel like we didn't even scratch the
That's the thing.
surface of
Just
this
understanding
movie.
it.
But watching,
difficult.
just watching it, I was like, I don't.
It's a lot.
understand.
It's a lot.
I would say that like by watch I've seen the first two seasons many times, and I know I'm like with the characters and it wasn't as jarring for me to rewatch this. Like I could make sense of everything and follow the story. Like I could tell who Tai was.
Yeah.
And they do look a little bit more different than normal.
I got
But
nothing.
Yes, for someone who never seen this, like
well,
Chris,
okay. Well,
is,
here's
I
the
think
question.
it's very
'Cause
interesting. to
we're
see.
running out of time a little bit. Does it hold up?
I still think it's entertaining. For me, it was entertaining enough. I don't think it holds up entirely as a movie. That if you've seen the show and you're very like, if you know the show, like then yes, you probably will have fun with it. But if you've never seen it, don't bother with it because it's not. It doesn't help to tell the story.
Yeah,
It's very confusing.
I completely agree.
I
I was definitely entertained by some parts. Some of the jokes I laughed at.
I like the liners.
soundtrack
The
is great.
soundtrack is great.
Yeah,
Some of the
the
action
mom is
is
great.
real fun.
As a kid,
movie,
the
it
plot
doesn't
doesn't
fucking-
make sense.
Yeah. And as a kid, I understand why I liked it as a kid,
Yeah,
and that's why I was excited to watch it again and was horribly disappointed. It does not hold up at all. Like it,
because
it,
the
at
story
all.
lacks.
Yeah, it's fun to watch at times, but it is hard to get through.
Yeah.
So no, it does not hold up.
I did watch this in 2 sittings. I had to take a break for a little bit.
Okay, too much simulation.
Yeah.
So Eric, you
Smoke
would
a few
say
cigarettes.
he would say,
Oh man,
also not
It's
hold up.
rough. No, it does not hold up.
Chris,
It's pretty hard.
Chris has been joking this whole time. He loves the movie.
The number one fan.
I did not enjoy watching this movie.
was it worse than you expected though?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually expected to go in blind and know nothing about it and be like, oh, okay, I understand this world, and like, this is the story they're gonna tell me. No. It was like, you need to fucking know what's going on, or fuck you, and it was like, bah, 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 Tyrannosaurus Rex shooting a laser out of his arm, and I was like, so no, I didn't
It
like
was
this
rough.
movie.
I think this was one of the harshest ones.
It was disjointed, and I felt uncomfortable watching it, not knowing anything about it.
Okay.
I like people's hair.
Digimon,
Digital monsters, Digimon.
It's the best part of the thing.
Weedle, Rattata, Pikachu, Pokemon.
They also created Digirap for this one.
Yeah, oh yeah, I looked it up. It's made by MC Peapod. He probably got. How much money do you think MC Peapod got?
Honestly,
he just ripped
not
off,
that much.
Yeah, he got like 100 yen.
Honestly, not that much.
He wasn't even paid money. They just told me they wouldn't kill his family.
You also know that this movie was made to just be a big grab when that last, like one of the last lines is like, oh, Digimons come back singing a different tune, and then the Digimon starts pretty much singing and dancing to All Star.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah, that was so
That was
great.
great. I
No, that's what I'm saying. I think like that's when you know that like this movie was made for one specific reason, which was like to just try to cash, like to make money out of the Pokemon thing movies. And then the Fox just took all of this and just tried to mash it in
was
and sell
sprinkles on a
with,
turd sandwich.
and sell with All Star.
It's been one way, so look to me.
So we're gonna end this one with All Star, right?
Oh,
Adam
shit.
we can get
Yeah,
away
sure.
with it.
Can we end all of them with Smash Mouth?
What's the song that every movie should end with?
Walk of Life.
Walk of Life.
Yeah. Yeah, tune in next
Yeah,
week
all right,
for
signing off.
our next movie.
This is Eric Lutz. We're gonna go around again.
Yeah, I'm Lee. Sorry
Oh.
for ruining this movie for you guys.
Lucas, and yeah, don't watch this movie if you don't like it.
And I'm Eric Lutz. I thought we could just keep going around for a while.
Just until they know our names, we'll just
Yeah.
force down.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.